Hey game designers, in this video, um, we're going to do the next part of the UI tutorial. So again, this is not a class specific one, but this will give you a general idea of all the different things we did to create our user interface. So when we last left off, we finished the HP bar. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of housekeeping here. I'm going to go ahead and click on the first part of the HP bar and the negative space, and we're going to go ahead and put that in a folder, and we're going to call that HP bar. Now let's assume that your class wanted to do a avatar. So we want to take a quick avatar picture and put it on the upper left here. So I'm just going to go ahead and move this a little bit to the left, and let's go ahead and create a avatar picture. So so let's go ahead and unhide this picture and assume that we're going to use the top and put it up right here, put it into a circle and put it next to the HP bar. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually create a circle. So we're going to basically take this image and mask it inside a circle. So here we're going to make an ellipse, and I'm going to make an ellipse here. I'm going to hold shift so that it locks in a perfect circle. I'm going to hold alt to kind of center it. So say I want to do something like that. Oh, let's try that again. Start here, hold shift, hold alt. Make sure you let go of the mouse first. Something like that. And then make sure that the player is above the head of the shape. Okay. Then you're going to right click the player layer and you're going to click on clip and mask. Okay. And now you'll see that the player is clipped on to the mask. Now go ahead and turn off your fill here, and let's see if we can turn on a um, different color fill. Let's see if this helps. Oh, I got the wrong thing selected. Let me undo this real quick. So I have this, so I'm gonna go here, turn off the fill color, and let's see if I add on the stroke. No, it will mask over this, so I don't want that. Let's see, no fill and no stroke. Oh yeah, the fill has to be like a white color or something. Okay. Again, let's go here, clipping mask, right? Now you see the white background. To see if I put back on this. I keep doing the wrong layer. No fill on here, white background. Go back to the shape and see if I could add a stroke. No, it doesn't work. Okay. So once you have the player and the shape here, let's see if we could put these two together. I'm going to go ahead and put it in a folder, right? And let's just call it the avatar, right? And then we can right click it and go ahead and go to blending options. And let's see if we can add a stroke around it. Yep. So we got here a red stroke that matches our color scheme here. I'll make it the lines a little bit thicker, make it similar to um, our HP bar here. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK. And I want to put my avatar layer above my HP bar layer here. So as I move it, it'll kind of show up on top like that. And let's take the HP bar and kind of move it something like this. Now maybe it's a little bit too big here, so I can scale it down, something like that. Holding shift will lock the scale, and I'm going to move this here. And maybe I want to actually move the character's head a little bit higher. So again, you can click on this and just use the arrow keys and give him a little bit more, his face more centered to the circle. And that does our avatar. Um, so let's go ahead and go on to the next part. Let's say we want to have some kind of indicator for, and let me just make the HP bar a little bit smaller. This looks like a little bit too big. Maybe I'll grab here and scale down everything a little bit here. Something like that. Want to lose too much space. And now let's go ahead and make a coin and a heart. So we have a coin and a heart here. So let's just start with the heart. I'll move the heart here, turn on the eye, the preview, and we can look at it here. I'm actually going to change the background color so that we can see that the background is its own transparent color. So I'm just going to right click on the background and just add a color overlay. This will help us see that this is the actual background. So let's go ahead and just make it some shade of gray here. Okay. And we can't just put the heart here because the heart is not transparent. There's these white spaces. So we're going to teach you how to fix that. So we're going to go to the heart. We're going to right click and rasterize it. So this will take away or turn everything into pixels. Now there's a tool called the magic wand tool. You'll find it here. And we can click on the white area and delete the white space. Okay. Now, again, this would depend how well you have your tolerance. You can see here that the more colors you tolerate, the more it will capture colors that are similar to white. So the little things like off-white. But if you put it to 0, no tolerance, then it might leave a little bit of white edges. Let me show you what this might look like. So if I click here with no tolerance, you can see that some of the white on the outside is kept because it's a little bit off-white. But if I Control Z, turn the tolerance back up a little bit, I say about 30 or so, now it's going to grab things that are a little bit um, white as well. So let me just click on nothing here. Use the magic wand tool, click on this white, delete it. You can see it does a much better job of taking out the rest of the white. So that's all you need to do. So I'm going to show you again with the coin. Make sure you guys select nothing here. I'm going to go ahead and select nothing. Just take your select tool, select nothing so that you don't select anything at all. Go back to your heart, use the move tool, and now we can kind of put HP and heart like live somewhere like right here. Right, something like that. Let's go and do the same thing with the coin. So if you didn't catch what I did, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to turn on the coin. I'm going to move the coin over here. I'm going to right click, rasterize it, turn it into a bunch of pixels. Use the magic wand tool, select all the white pixels and all the pixels next to it. Hit delete. Use a selection tool, select nothing so that you don't select the pixels. Go back to your select tool, select the coin, and we'll move it somewhere like this. Okay. So now we can put the HP right here. We can put the number of coins right here. And that kind of finishes our upper left panel. Let's go ahead and start making a virtual keyboard real quickly here. So virtual keyboard, we can use some of the shapes that are pre-made already inside of GameFruit. You can click right here and go to custom shapes. And you can see right here on the top bar, there's options for custom shapes. So we can easily kind of steal a shape that already exists. So we're going to go ahead and select, I don't know, let's say this one. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and just left click and drag, hold shift to make it circular. So to say this is the left and right arrow keys. Okay. So you can see here that we created the shape already. Let's see if I can change the color to match our color scheme. I think I said red, white, and blue just for an example. So let's say I chose blue to be the inside fill. I choose red to be the outside stroke, right? And might want to turn down the opacity here. It's kind of bright. So maybe I'll go with some opacity here. I'm going to go about 50% opacity. And let's see, let's go with that. Or maybe let's do a white stroke or white fill. That makes it a little bit less crazy. Right? That looks good. And maybe I'll add like a blue stroke on the inside or something. Let's actually do an inside stroke real quick. Blending option, inner stroke here. And I'm going to go inside and maybe do blue color. And let's see how that looks. Maybe 2 pixels. Something like that. I don't know if I like that. Looks like I don't like that because it, or maybe I do like this. Let's actually turn this to off. Turn off the stroke altogether. Go back to our blending options. And let's add a double stroke. So sometimes when you have a stroke on the shape and a stroke here, it's better to turn off this stroke and just add a double stroke. So now you can control what you want. So let's say we wanted blue on the inside and then we wanted red on the outside. So the blue one I'm going to change to 4 pixels. The red one I'm going to change to 2 pixels. So now we have a blue followed by a red. Or do I want the other way around? I think I want it the other way around. I want red to be 4 pixels. All right, let's make it 6 pixels. And let's give blue only 2 pixels. And change the order real quick. I want red to be bigger than black. And no, I want the other way around. Let's go back. Change this one to red. I want red to be on the outside. And let's go back to blue. Nope, that didn't work. Red first, then blue. And you can play around with these and try to get the exact color that you want. I just want to get something that makes it look a little bit different here. So let's go ahead and use the move tool and move it up. So let's say I'm going to take a duplicate of this. So this will be my right button. So I'm going to rename this real quickly. Right key. So this is again making a virtual keyboard. I'm going to duplicate it and make the duplicate, call it left key. And now I need to just rotate the image. So you can go to edit, transform, flip horizontally. And you can see I created the flip of it. You can use the arrow keys to move the other key. So I'm just going to move it something like that. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put both of these, right click into a folder, and we'll just call it movement keys here. Right, and I'm going to move it, next to my other folders here. And now we can create some action keys over here. So we're going to create probably a jump and prone key. And then if we have space, we will go ahead and add a little bit more. So I have this heart and key here. I'm just going to put this up here with the other 4 things. And then just put all 4 of these and just call it the upper left panel. So we're just going to call it the upper left panel just to, again, do a little housekeeping here. Upper left panel. Okay. And now we got some movement keys, and let's teach you again how to make some silhouettes keys. So suppose that I want to take the prone position here and turn it into a key, a virtual key right here, or the jump button. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can do that. So I got a person jumping here, right? And my goal is to kind of clear the background so I could select just a silhouette of the character. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to start with the jump button here, and I'm going to rasterize it, turn it into a bunch of pixels, use my magic wand tool here, and see if I can grab out all the green. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. And there's probably a few little areas that we can take out as well, right? And that looks almost clean. Let's see if there's anything else I can grab here. And that looks good to me. So let's see how it works. Let's see how clean it looks. So I'm going to go to the jump right here. I'm going to right click. And I'm going to go and actually let me make sure I select nothing. So make sure you select nothing. Go back to your selection tool. And let's see what we got here. It looks like I got a pretty clean picture here. I'm going to right click, go to blending option, and you can use a color overlay to turn him into like a key. So let's say we have red keys here, and you can see that there's a little bit of cleanup I can do here. You can see that there's some red stuff on the outside here. So I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to use my erasers tool here and clean up some of the red pixels on the outside. So go in here. And maybe lower my pixel size a little bit here. Let's go to something like 5. You can see that there's just some little pixels that are that we didn't take out with our selection tool because we didn't increase the tolerance to accept more of the white spaces. Okay, and if you can, you can go in there and zoom in if you want to just really make sure that you don't have any red pixels. Okay, I think I got most of it. Okay, and now we can use this to make a key. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take a little circle, go into the center, hold Shift, then hold Alt. That will center it. Now we can create a key based on this. And then let go here. And again, no fill. Let's just go with the red stroke, right? And then we can center this guy a little bit using our arrow keys. We can just click the arrow keys, put them into the center. And it looks like our buttons are double stroke here. So maybe we'll kind of continue that. We can go to our shape, go to blending options, and we can add another inner stroke. And so we can go ahead and make a red color stroke here. And we have a stroke of, we had to have two circles. So actually this is not going to work. I take this back. All right, we're going to leave this as a no stroke, hit OK. And then we're going to go ahead and just right click, duplicate. And then we're going to grab this shift right here, making a more inner circle. Use our arrow keys and try to match the size of our other keys here. That looks okay. Maybe a little bit smaller. And use our arrow keys, kind of get to match up. Maybe we'll make our jump guy a little bit smaller so he fits inside the circle. Something like that. Use our arrow keys, move them in. And then we're going to put all these three inside a folder. Oops, folder. And we're just going to call it the jump button here. Use my movement, move it over here, and just kind of match the color or the size. So let me just move it right on top here, and hold Shift on the corner. And looks like we almost got it right. Right, there we go. So we have a jump button right here. And now we're going to do the same thing with the Chrome button. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Go to the Chrome button. I'm going to go ahead and rasterize it. I'm going to go ahead and use the Magic Wand tool. Select the blue sky. Delete that, delete that, delete that. You can see here I can turn up my tolerance a little bit. Actually, I'm going to leave the floor. Let's see if I can just grab, leave the floor so it looks like he's on the ground, but use my Magic Wand tool on these little blue spots. Okay, and now I think I have a pretty good silhouette of him. I can right click, go to blending options, and again with the color overlay, turn him into red. And you can see here that there are some places that I can do a better job at here. So I can go ahead and use my eraser tool and just erase some of the extra red pixels. So let me erase the color overlay here. What's going on? Why can't I delete? Am I deleting? Is this a brush or eraser? Eraser. Why isn't this thing? Oh, there it goes. I rasterized the layer style here. Let's see if it lets me delete this. Huh. Oh, because I have the selection tool on. There you go. So make sure you guys deselect nothing so that you guys can go in here and use your eraser tool. So that was my mistake. Okay, turn off the eraser tool here. And now I have a pretty clean prone one. So let's go ahead and take a right click and let's do a flip on this thing. I'm going to do edit, transform horizontal, flip him around. Let's go ahead and scale him down here so that he's about the size of that button. So something like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy the two rings that we already created here on the jump button. So I'm just going to take these two, right click and duplicate layer, and then move these two out here. Something like that. And I'm going to go ahead and move these two layers out of that folder. And now I can take these three and go ahead and put that in a folder and call that the prone button. And now we have the prone button. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of do a arc configuration here. So the jump button will be like that. Let's do like the prone position right here. And then in the next video, we'll do some fire button and the map overlays, our map mini maps. Okay, so let's go ahead and stop this video here.